With the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's Indigo Disk DLC, Pokemon decided to give something that I haven't done in 10 years, and that is the release of a brand new type, and this time it's called the Stellar Type. This is an interesting type that is meant to be used as a special Tera type that doesn't change your defensive typing, but provides a one-time boost to all your moves during battle. It's like a choice span for every single move you can use. Additionally, Tera Blast is super effective against all Tera Pokemon, but also reduces your offenses after the fact. This seems really cool and interesting, however, will this be even good in competitive singles play? Before we answer this question, if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more competitive Pokemon content as we are on the road to 20k subs. So if you guys want more videos just like this, your support would be greatly appreciated. Anyways, thank you, and let's get on to the video. No. This is mid. This is... Listen, the Stellar Type is a cool and interesting concept that I actually think is, like, pretty interesting in a way to implement a new type without having to, like, change up everyone's, all these 1,000 Pokemon, like, types and type charts and etc. But before I keep hating on Stellar Type, you know what? Stellar Type can be good for, I think, a certain amount of Pokemon, specifically offensive Pokemon that really tear to their own, like, Tera type. For example, King Gambit, if it's only going to be Tera Dark to boost its Sucker Punch, and you go Stellar Type, yeah, Dark and Steel is not going to be, like, the most thing it wants, but it's still going to be, like, taking a Mach Punch or any other priority move anyways, like fighting type priority move. So I don't think, like, that's much of a big deal. Like, I think that kind of, like, if you're talking about offensively, like, that's fine. Like Greninja, like, if it tears to water, like with Protean and goes with Hydro Pump, and all that kind of stuff with its Battle Bond ability shenanigans, not Protean, Battle Bond ability shenanigans, you know what? There's an argument to be made that, yeah, it makes all its moves, like, stronger, etc. But my only thing is, it only works one time per battle. One time use per battle. That does not sound like the most entertaining thing. Like, for example, use Hydro Pump, it's going to be choiced, and then after that, it's just a regular Hydro Pump. It's not boosted by its quote-unquote Tera. It's not boosted by the Stellar Type. Like, the Stellar Type is basically you get a boost for all your 4 types of moves, and Tera Blast is just like this super nuke Hyper Beam kind of, like, shenanigan that's there for a one-time thing. Now, in, like, a 3v3 setting, could this be OP? Perhaps, if it's just like a, like, you know, offensive, like, powerhouse. But I think Ceruledge actually demonstrate this even better, right? Ceruledge, for example, in, like, offensive Pokemon that want to use their Tera type for defensively, like Ceruledge, who wants to be like a Tera Bug, for example, it can absolutely go haywire, especially early on in Scarlet and Violet, if you had just the Stellar type. But if you had Ceruledge with the Stellar type, it has to be Fire and Ghost, which means it's still predictable with, I mean, it's still vulnerable to, like, things like Aqua Jet and all those fire type moves. Additionally, Shadow Sneak is still there, so all its weaknesses is still retained, and it gets a boost for Poltergeist, Bitter Blade, Sword Sense, and Shadow Sneak, whereas if it teared to Bug, it kept a defensive cover, and it still has Sword Sense to boost its potential damage, which can last as long as it wants to, as long as it's on the field. It's got, like, you know, I think that in itself right there, like, I think that goes to show that, especially for, like, offensive Pokemon that uses for defensive cover, it's going to be really, like, just not that important. And especially for defensive Pokemon, like, for example, let's go take a look at Corviknight, right? Corviknight is a great defensive Pokemon. Yeah, it's in limbo if it can be used or not because there's Goldango and hazards, etc. But I'm not here to discuss that right now. I'm just talking about straight up Corviknight. The issue with Corviknight, though, if you're going to give it the Stellar type really only is an offensive, like, boost. It's no defensive cover. You can't change your Tera type. You're Flying Steel forever. You can't be Tera Fire to avoid anything of that sort. Like, your Corviknight with the Stellar type to get a boost on what? Body Press for 1 turn. U-turn for 1 turn, Brave Bird for 1. Yes, so, like, defensive Pokemon will not be using this. Like, even like Corviknight will definitely not be using it. Dondozo will definitely not be using it. Garganacl, it needs Tera Ghost or Tera Fairy at least. Like, it loves to have that kind of defensive versatility on the field, right? Goldango, probably not. It's Stealing Ghost is anyways. I mean, maybe it's Stealing Ghost is a pretty good typing, but Tera Flying has been huge for a lot of its sets. Great Tusk, it prefers a lot of Tera Water, Tera Steel. Iron Valiant, maybe, I don't know, you could justify that because it's super high offensively. Iron Moth, probably not. It's fire and poison, pretty weak to a lot of, like, important things. Lander's Therian, weak to ice, and it could Terra out of it, you know, so I don't think he wants to be like that forever, especially since Triple Axle is now on Weavile and Meowscarada. That's something, and Quaquaval, I think that's something that's for another video, but you get the idea. Ogerpon, I don't know if it can use it. I have no idea. I don't know how that would work. There's a lot of Pokemon that really prefer the versatility that normal terrestrialization offers. You could also look like a Pokemon like Zamazenta. This is another great example of a Pokemon that uses its Tera type for like defensive like viability as well as offensively. Like if you gave this in the Stellar type, for example, let's say for example Zamazenta was the Stellar type, right? Stellar type fighting, or sorry, yeah, Stellar type will make its defensive cover fighting, but all its moves super effective basically. And let's just say it's something like Terra Blast for namesake. So you get rid of Stone Edge, you put Terra Blast, right? You get a one-time use of Terra Blast on any Terra Pokemon, sure, you probably might knock them out because it's Zamazenta with a high attack stat, right? 120, it's probably going to knock them out, sure. Eat your Terra Blast off. Then you have Crunch, which you could probably negate with a 99% of Pokemon. You could probably just bring in Great Tusk to absorb a Crunch. There goes your Crunch boost, okay? Now you only have two moves. You got Heavy Slam and Close Combat. Heavy Slam, well, you could just bring in Goldango for that. And Close Combat, well, again, like, you know, yeah, the boosts are great, but I feel like this is really limiting, and most times or not, I feel like this will be in effect. It will be in limbo where you have to rely upon it to win, and I feel like relying on a mechanic that is almost like you're walking on rope. Like, yeah, if you make it across, it's great, but if you don't, you like don't win. You fall off, right? So I feel like that it's like a one-hit wonder basically. Like if it has, everything has to go super perfectly. And again, I think it only applies to like hyper offensive Pokemon that could probably make it really work. That already has its weaknesses. Water Dark Greninja, like Greninja is probably like one of the best examples I could probably bring out because Greninja runs Battle Bomb like Life Orb stuff. So you could do Hydro Pump, and then you have like Water Shuriken, Dark Pulse, and like Ice Beam. So this is like a viable strategy which many players could use, and then when you use a Stellar type, you still have your Water Dark, but you can boost its Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, Water Shuriken, and this is priority especially, right? So you get all that kind of stuff, or you have Terra Blast. But then you also have to look at the downside that after you use Stellar type, what's next? Stellar type is not lasting for the entire match. It's lasting only for like it's a limited thing. It's limited for 4 moves, and then after that, it's done. It has no more viability, has no more flexibility, has nothing. So yeah, while sure it does give a huge boost on the offensive end of things, you could also see that it also diminishes the offensive end of things because you can't spam these moves as such. It feels like Pokemon is trying to implement a type in which niche, it seems too niche and too gimmicky. I saw Moxie Boost even talking about this, like even for the VGC scene, like, it's super gimmicky. It'll be good for gimmicky strats. It'll be good for, I guess, as long as we have no open Terra team sheet kind of thing. Sure, you'll hear complaints about it all over the forums, but if we have that, there's no excuse, and it's just honestly mid, in my opinion. It's okay at best. Anyways, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. Thank you to my members for their continued support, and if you guys have watched this far, be sure to comment down the dog emoji for Zamazenta. Let's just go with it. Why not? I really appreciate all of your guys' support in the past month or so, especially with my recent videos that have been taking longer, but you guys enjoyed the edits. So yeah, I know this is more of a discussion video, but this topic really mandated a discussion video. So yeah. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to join the Chompy Discord as well. Link in the description down below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching as always, and hopefully I have another video out soon. It's already pre-edited basically, just waiting on a couple things, especially for gameplay from Showdown. So yep, whenever Showdown servers are up, you'll probably see a video coming in the next hour.